Hey everybody, Unstable Gamer here, and welcome back to the channel. We have a brand new game for you that just globally launched today. This is Dislyte, and it's been in a form of soft launch beta for a period of time, and I've been playing it and having a great time with it. They've been continually evolving it and changing it and making it a really cool game. And there's some even cool stuff that I found today, which I think is awesome to share, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Plus, I got a fun little announcement to make that's gonna be pretty cool. But first, before we do, you're just now finding this channel and you wanna stay up to date with this and other games, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out. All right, and welcome back. So this is Dislyte. It is a turn-based RPG. We've seen these types of games before, but I think when it comes to these kind of games, what developers are really trying to do and really looking at is how can we differentiate our game from the other games? Because you can put almost any skin on it and it's going to be the same type of game at the base level, right? So I feel that Lilith, now these are the creators behind, these are the people behind AFK Arena. They've done a fantastic job there. It's a very popular game, and I think they brought some very cool stuff to this game here that I think sets it apart. There's some cool quality of life things that I want to talk about. There's a cool little game mode that reminds me of Rock Band a little bit in here. So they've added some cool things to this that I think does set it apart from some of the other gacha games that are in the, well, some of that are out there in the world today, right? Because there is quite a bit. So let's talk about Dislyte. The story mode is pretty cool. I do have a few tips that I want to share with everybody because I think when it comes to these kinds of games, resource management, time management, your time management, I think is very important as well. And the amount of time that you spend in game and how much you can do in the game, especially simultaneously. And there's a very cool thing that this game does that allows you to do that. So first, you got multiple different game modes. You have PvE, PvP. Most of the content in here is PvE. I think you'll pretty much find that across most of these types of games. A lot of PvE content, resource grinding, things like that. So just kind of taking a look at some stuff. If you go into trials here, oh, I'm looking at the wrong screen here. If we go into trials here, a lot of resource farming game modes like Ritual, Miracle. This is where you can go in and you can farm a lot of relics. Relics are, it's kind of like gear in other games where you collect, you have 4 sets and 2 sets, and those sets give you bonuses once you're able to complete those sets, like increased attack, increased health, things like that. You have Cube Miracle here, which is a bunch of resource farming as well. So a lot of different game modes to go in and farm. I think my first tip really comes in the way of making sure to go through campaign and go as far as you can, because as you continue to progress through campaign, you're going to get further and further in and unlocking stronger and stronger practice modes, and practice modes are really good for farming gold and experience. That's going to help you level up your espers, and espers in this game, those are your different characters. So that, I think, is a pretty important tip, is just get through campaign as far as you can. And with just the beginning espers that you have, we'll talk about a few espers as well that I'm hearing is pretty good. I'll show you who I'm using, which is not great, but there are a few ones, a couple that I really like that I want to talk about as well. So, so just go through the campaign. That's the story mode here. The practice stages are right here. As you get further and further in the campaign, the practice stages, you get more gold. But this is where you're going to get your gold and your advanced experiment, which is experience, which is what you use to level up your espers. Not the only place to get them, but it's a really good way to do it. Now, I'm going to show you something here since we're here, and we're going to go ahead and do some other stuff while I do this, but I'm going to go ahead and farm this. So this is practice stage 9 for me right now. I'm going to go into multi-battle. You can set up different multi-battle options here, but I'm just going to go ahead and leave it at this. I'm going to go ahead, hit enter, and then we're going to go into auto battle. So as you can see, you set up a team of 5. You're going to do it's your turn-based battling back and forth, your skills, things like that. So I do have it set on auto right now. Cool thing is this middle button down here. This is fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and click on this. Boom. Now I can go and do whatever else I want. We're going to continue with the video while this goes, but as you can see down there on the bottom left, 1 of 10. So while it's auto battling and farming for me, farming gold and experience, I don't have to sit there and watch the multi-battles. Multi-battles have been kind of for me in games because typically you set a multi-battle up and then you got to put the phone aside, and then the phone is locked up. Your phone is locked up for a while and it's a little boring, then you go on and do other stuff. This is the first time I have ever seen this in a game. If anybody else has seen this out there, I'd really like to know, but this is innovation right here. This is something that sets the game apart from other games, and something I really feel we should see more of. But anyway, so there's my auto battles. It's going to keep going on. I'm 1 of 10 right now. So let's go ahead and do some other stuff. As you're farming, as far as time in game and things like that, there is a lot of story here, and you can, if you like story, you can go ahead and read through the story, have a great time with that. It is a fun story to follow, but maybe you don't want to read it right now. Maybe you want to just progress, get in the game, play as much as you can, and then maybe at a later time you want to come back and read the story. And I think this game does a great job with that as well. In the actually, if we go back to over here, I don't know if it's going to let me look at it just yet. Oh yeah, right here. See story mode? It says story mode on. I just turned that off. Turn that off, skip the cutscenes, just do your battles, run through it, and then if you want to know what's going on in the story, you come back here, go to your atlas, and then let's take a look at story review. And then as you're working through the story, you're unlocking the different chapters. You can always come back here. These are your major tales. Boom, transformation. I can go ahead and take a look at that. You know, maybe you got some downtime, maybe you want to read or you want to watch some stuff, and you really don't have a whole lot of time to play. You can just come in here and you can review the story. So you don't have to worry about missing any of the story if you just want to skip it, because you could just come back here, take a look at it whenever you want on your terms, right? Not forced to watch it as you're moving through the game. So I thought that was a pretty cool thing to find, and wanted to make sure to share that with everybody. All right, so we talked about multi-battle. We talked about the practice stages. Bounties, I think one thing that's important is to do your bounties every single day. The reason for that is because you get a lot of cool resources. You get gold, you get crystals. You also have, there's an opportunity to get golden records here. Golden records are what you need in order to do your summons. We'll do some summons here in a little bit as well. But this kind of reminds me of Destiny. If you know bounties in Destiny, you go ahead, you click on some stuff. So this one here, get a War Machine set relic from the ritual. I can hit accept. You can do 6 of these a day. And once you accept it, there's a go button that'll take you straight to where you need to go, which is cool. Another quality of life thing. You don't need to guess. You can go straight there. Advance any expert to level 10. So as you complete these bounties, you get these rewards. And it's cool. You want to make sure to grab those, do your 6 every day, because the more resources you have coming in, because again, it's all about resource management, how many resources that you have coming in, because the more resources you have coming in, the more time and effort you can put into leveling up your team and getting further and further in the game. So there's bounties there. There's a lot of other cool stuff here. DJ contest we're going to come back to. We'll wrap up with that because I think that's pretty cool. But let's go ahead and take a look at espers. Now, the espers that I'm currently using are not the best. However, when you get in the game and the new player roll or whatever, you get the option of a couple, the chance to roll a couple espers. You have Li Ling there, and I think it's Tang Yuan there. Tang Juan. I'm hearing Li Ling is the best of the two. If you want to re-roll, you can. I'll show you quickly how you can re-roll. I won't go through the whole process, but it is a little bit lengthy. It's quick to reset your account. That's easy, but to get further enough in the game to do your 10 summons in order to get one of your legendaries, it does take some time. I'm hearing it could take anywhere between an hour and an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, depending on how quickly you can move through stuff. So it can take some time, but I am using this guy. I put quite a bit of effort in him. So that's as far as my legendaries go. I am still using Mona. Mona is new and comes in, and you get really early on in the game, your first summon. She's good, and she's nice on AoE, and she's really good for the early, I'm going to say early to mid-game. And I think as you get further and further on the game, you're probably going to swap her out. But she's really good. I wouldn't worry about being nervous about investing in her, because she'll be good for you for a while. I'm also using this guy here, Black Tortoise, Ren C. He is a great tank. Having a lot of fun with him, so I'm using him. He is good. So Bryn and Drew are ones that you get really early on as well. Bryn obviously is the main character in the beginning of the story, so is Drew. Drew, I hear, is pretty good to invest in as well, and will be good for the end game also. Chang Pu there is good from what I'm hearing. I'm not using her just yet. Right now I am using Bryn though. I haven't swapped her out yet. Also down here, Unki Chai is really good from what I'm hearing as well. I'm also using Helena right now. I am going to swap her out though for Chang Pu up there, just because she has more of an AoE heal, which I think is good. Her heals are based off her attack, which isn't necessarily a bad thing for Chang Pu. It just means that as you build her up, you want to put more into her attack so that her heals are better. I played other games where healing is based on their attack, and they've done very well. So I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing for her. But so I think early on, she's probably really good. Probably better than Helena, to be honest. Also, I hear Bernice is pretty good. So those are the ones that I'm currently using. So the 5 that I'm using is Bryn, and then Renzi, Mona, using Li Ling, and there's one more I'm missing that I'm using, which is Helena's the other one that I'm using right now. But those are the espers there. Just my thoughts on a few and kind of what I'm hearing as I'm listening to other people, watching other people's content on this game. It's been playing it for a long time as well. All right, so the bounties go as far as the campaign. I think we pretty much have gone over everything. A very cool mode. So I want to show you this game mode, and then we're going to finish up with some summons. But this mode here, this DJ contest, is just fun, and this reminds me of, like I was saying, it reminds me of Rock Band. And, you know, this is also one of those things where when you come out with these types of games where there's a ton of them, coming up with different and fun game modes that's engaging, I think that's very important as well. But we're just going to go ahead, run through this. You have your record down here. You have to catch. Let's try and get through this as much. You got to try and catch the notes or the I don't know what they're called. You have things coming down the ramp there, and you got to catch them in the right color. You got to scratch the record. You got to spin it. So, hold on. I'm looking at the wrong thing. There we go. I'm not going to hit flawless if that happens. Then we got that. Then we got the scratching piece here. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, catch that. Spin it. Stop it. Trying to do this and talk at the same time can be a little difficult. Spin the record, boom, there we go, catch it. Spin the record, boom, there we go. Now we're getting in the groove. And you just kind of run through it. You catch you catch those, and you just have fun doing it. So we won't run through this whole thing, but it's just, you can see the timer up there on the top right. Maybe we will run the whole thing. Let's grab these. Now it's going like really slow, it seems. There we go, spin it. Spin it. Catch it. Almost done here. But, you know, just kind of a fun little mode. And this is the story one that I did. You got different difficulties, so it will get very difficult, I'm sure. So it'll be fun to see that. So I just got SS. I'll have to redo it. Just go. But I got a fair amount of gold from that as well. So just a lot of fun. The game is good. I'm having a fun time. Look at this. Let's go back out. Look at that. I'm a 7 of 10 right here. I can click on that, and I can go straight to this if I just want to see where I am in the battle there. But you know what? Let's go back out. Let's go ahead and do... Let's do some of this here. So when it comes to I'm going to use some crystals just so I can get a 10 pull here. I don't recommend using crystals for summons only because it's expensive. If you want to do a 10 pull, it's 2,000 crystals. I only need 4 though. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the record. I'm going to purchase 4. It's 800. There we go. And then let's go ahead and do the 10 spin. See if we get anything. A guaranteed Esper in 84 more attempts. But let's see if we can get anybody good. Spin the record. Drop that beat. And I don't think we got any legendaries off that. We got the purple tube there. No legendaries. Let's see who we get. Barden, I think I already have. Hall. Tang Yun, I don't think I had him. I didn't have this guy, so that's cool. He looks pretty cool. Falcon, I don't know if he's good or not. Unky Chai. Who's this guy? Kara. Okay, not a guy. All right. Very cool. There's Helena again. And there we go for our 10 pull. So, pretty cool stuff. Looks like the game wants to blank out on me here real quick. All right, and we're back. Okay, so like I was saying, there you go, everybody. That's what I had for you. This is Dislyte. They've done some great stuff with this. I like the quality of life stuff, especially this. Look at that. I'm 9 of 10 right now. that is cool. It lets you farm while you do other stuff. It's just, I think that's cool. So there are a few tips that I had as far as this game goes, just some really early tips in the very beginning to hopefully save some time and get you moving quickly in the game. Very interested in your thoughts. Are you playing this game yet? Have you played it in beta? What are some tips and tricks that you have for everybody else? Let us know in the comment section below so everybody can benefit. And as always, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time.